Hi, welcome to my channel, Rise Out of the Ash. My name is Heather, and today I'm doing a pick a card reading for your blessings for 2022. So I have 6 piles to choose from, given that 2022 is a 6th year in numerology. So pile 1, you could either choose by number or by crystal. So you could either choose pile 1, which is the Amethyst. Pile 2, which is Danburite. It's actually a really light pink. Pile 3 is this piece of Kyanite. This is called Kyanite, so it's actually blue Kyanite with some black and Kyanite in it and quartz. Also, if you're drawn to a particular crystal, you might want to look that one up, as that might have a message for you as well. Pile 4 has this piece of candle quartz. Pile 5 is this double terminated rainbow fluorite. And pile 6 is Prasiolite, which is some people call green amethyst. So if you want to pick your pile, again, by number or by crystal, if you're drawn to, a couple piles, you could do that too. And be sure to subscribe, like, and share if you like this video. Okay, so we're gonna get into pile number 1. So the pile number 1, if you chose the amethyst, this is your reading. So for your tarot card from the Witch's Tarot, you got Temperance. So this is a balancing year for you. I'm gonna lay them all out and then I'll get further into the messages. From the tea leaf cards, we have the Lion, time to act. We have Scissors, disappointment and some affair. And if you're like, okay, this is a blessing reading, why am I getting this card? We'll get to it. Because sometimes when bad things happen to us or something negative, we don't always see that it's for a reason, and then it turns into a blessing, or there's a silver lining there. And then these two came out together. We have Stork, which is news of a birth or a business opportunity, and Ear, good news. Okay, something I just heard is that you're reluctant to move, and this is why the Lion card, time to act. So some of you, maybe if you, with the Temperance and the Balance, maybe your life hasn't felt full or complete, and it might be because there is an imbalance there. And given everything going on in the world the past couple years, it makes sense. So this might be wherever you've had a lack, this is where the time to act is. Okay, also I heard delays. So I think with the Scissors, disappointment and some affair, if there's any delays, just see it as divine timing. If you're doing everything you could in your power to move forward, you can't force things, you can't push things. You could only do that so much. So know that, okay, and now I'm hearing balance and act. So I think for some of you, you could be the type that does act on things and you go for it full force, and then maybe you had disappointments and delays because, and this could be current energies also going into 2022 or in 2022. And so just knowing when the time is actually now and when to move forward. And I think there might be some confusion on when to do things because you're like, oh, well, there's been delay after delay after delay. But you do have the Stork and the Ear, good news, news of a birth or a business opportunity. So whether this is, trying to have a baby or a new business. And yeah, with that Temperance card, if you've been more work focused, maybe this is where the family part comes in. If you were wanting to have a family, again, that's not for everybody. Or if you've had the family component and you haven't been working, this is maybe where that balance is coming in, shifting the other direction. Okay, this is some other cards you got. We have Journey and attachment. So I think with the attachment, some of you might be attached to old ideas, or ideals even, and how things used to work, how they used to be. And you might be, oh, I also just heard selling yourself short. So this could even be your own ideas of yourself that you need to let go of to pursue what you're wanting and to move forward on your journey. And also with those attachments, this could also be other people as well. And sometimes they say, like, don't tell your plans to other people because they could influence the energies. So it might be good for you if you are moving forwards with certain things, don't tell people your plans until you actually do them. And about clearing your energy. Because even if people don't mean to put their negativity onto things, it's just natural. And not to say that everybody does that, but that could definitely happen. And again, I'm definitely getting a lot of this also internally. So if you've been doing this to yourself, and I'm hearing someone say no more. So I think maybe some of you are aware of this and you're trying to correct this and work on this. And then for your Blessed Be cards, we have a blessing for support and a blessing on your intuition, which is very interesting because remember I said knowing when to act, when to move forward with things. So with that Lion card, sometimes our ego or our pride can get in the way and we're like, oh no, we want this now. We want to do this now. So some of you could even be fire signs or have fire in your chart. And when you're just listening to what you want and you want it now, you're not in touch with your higher self. You're not in touch with your intuition. So this is where there might be that balance. So also even a balance within yourself of your masculine and feminine energies, because the masculine is definitely the leader, takes initiative, takes action, where the feminine is the receptive energy, is more free flowing. And also with the support card, I'm getting that for some of you that I got the attachments of other people. If some of those people in your life, whether past or present or future energies, some of those people you might be either releasing, letting go of, they might just phase out on their own, but you are having support coming in. So if you feel like you haven't had that support, but also I'm getting you have to be your biggest cheerleader. You have to be your biggest support system. So if you believe in yourself, then other people will as well. For your Unicorn card, you have intention. Be clear and decisive. Focus on what you really want. Be bold with your requests to the universe. So for those of you who feel like you did do that, it could just be a matter of what you're wanting might not be in alignment with what you're putting in. So make sure, what you're wanting is in alignment with your, not just intention, but your actions as well. And then for some of you, maybe something you had wanted, it's not exactly what you wanted anymore. And you're kind of having to hone in on what it is you're really wanting. Yeah, I'm getting someone might not be making up their mind, that you might be indecisive, or you're like, oh, I used to know what I wanted, and then there was these delays, it wasn't happening, it wasn't working. Okay, then I'm hearing the time is now, which is, again, going back to this time to act card. So even if it's not time for you to take the actions forward, it is time to be clear and decisive on what you're wanting and putting that intention out there. For your magical spell card, we have Grace. Grace, blessing, come to me to set me free. So with this card, I'm definitely getting, with the 3 here, like a 3 of Cups energy of like friends, community. So this is going back to also that support and maybe possibly new connections coming in and letting go of ones that don't serve you. I'm also getting with the Grace card, if you've been someone who has been not necessarily combative, but if you have been the type that is reactive to other people's comments, or you like, what's the word? if you've been caught up in drama sometimes, even if it's just something as silly as like, oh, someone said something on social media and you get into it, it's like you're gonna let go of these like petty things that don't matter and have more grace, if that makes sense. You're gonna kind of realize, okay, this is not helping me and not moving me forward, because anytime we get into those disagreements, any drama, gossip, any lower vibrational energy, we're not going to be able to move forward with what we're truly wanting and desiring, because we're at a lower vibrational level. And that's not to say anything bad about you if you've been in that space or in that space, but just recognizing, okay, does this really serve me? Is this something I should be focusing on? Does this really matter? Because of course there are times that we need to communicate certain things to people that we're, and have friendships, relationships, connections with. And it's not about, fighting. It's just about communicating your truth. But I'm getting like situations where it's not necessary. So if you are in situations like that, where you're needing to put your 2 cents in, or you have a habit of doing that, or did do that, it's kind of showing maybe letting that go, because it's not worth your time and energy. And you're putting your energy and time into the wrong places, if that makes any sense. Okay, so now we're going to look at the Moonology deck. I'm going to shuffle. So with the timing in these cards, you can use it as, okay, maybe some of these things will happen at the time, but also the messages on the cards we're going to take too. Okay, so pile 1, Amethyst. Please show me some timing, some messages on blessings for 2022. Okay, that was too many. 1 to 2 cards, please. Okay, first card that came up is Believe in the Impossible, the blue moon. So you can look up and see when the next blue moon is, but overall this is just saying believe in the impossible. And also I'm getting believe in yourself. Underneath we have meditate and contemplate new moon in Pisces. So again, you could look up when the next new moon in Pisces is, but also take the message. So if you feel like you're not focused or you're not sure of what you're really wanting, this card telling you about meditate and contemplate, you might just need some alone time with yourself to really think about things, because anytime we have a lot of distractions or, we're around other people, we don't really have time to check in and clear our mind and think about and process things. And then we have full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. So what did I say about believing in yourself? And you have you are good enough. So if you're fighting any worthiness issues, that's something you're going to want to address to be able to attract and receive what it is you're wanting. And okay, and again, I'm getting about the feminine energy. So I think a lot of you might be more in your masculine energy when I say that. As an energy, you could be male or female. It doesn't mean just be, a man. And I mean, again, by the masculine energy is what I talked about with being a leader, taking initiative, but then the feminine energy is more of the, open, is the receiver, right? And with this energy, if you don't believe that you're worthy, you're not going to be open to receiving. So you're going to have to work on balancing out those feminine and masculine energies and being able to be in, having that balanced feminine side where you're open to receiving because you do feel worthy and you know that you deserve what you're wanting. And then with the full moon in Virgo, that's another date you want to look up. So, and it's very interesting because Pisces and Virgo are actually opposite signs. So it's very interesting that you got the new moon in Pisces and full moon in Virgo. Okay, so above all, I think that you're going to have a more belief in yourself. You're going to get clarity on what it is you're wanting. You're going to be more in touch with your intuition. You're going to demonstrate more grace and let things go that don't serve you. You're going to let go of attachments and find new people who do support you, including yourself. And you're going to come into more of a time of balance and move forward with what it is you're wanting, which you will receive. With timing, again, like it's really up to you. It depends on, from what you took from this and guidance. you know, things could always change. So just take the messages for how they resonate for you. And I wish you a happy 2022. And feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe if this resonated for you. Okay, so now we're going to go on to pile number 2. Okay, pile number 2. If you chose the Danburite crystal or just the number 2, this reading is for you. So your tarot cards. So I know this is your blessings. Don't freak out by these tarot cards. So first you got the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, and then Justice. So I did hear the song End of the Road by Boyz II Men. So for some of you, you might be in relationships or marriages or partnerships that are ending or on their way out. So whether it's already ended, you're in the process of doing this, or this is coming, but this is ultimately a positive thing because you've come to the end of the road. And again, take what resonates. If this isn't your story, this isn't your story. There's other cards in this pile. I just know that this message is for somebody, or somebody is out there. And so some of you, if this is your situation, might have a hard time letting go of this. But once you recognize this and let this go, it's going to be positive. And with the Justice card, for some of you, this could be actually someone that yeah, it could have been a toxic partnership possibly. And with the Justice, it's like you ultimately are going to get what you deserve, which is better than that connection. And when I say toxic partnership, it doesn't have to mean that person was toxic. I mean, they could be, but it could just be also you two together didn't work anymore, became toxic. So again, take what resonates, but definitely I was hearing that song, and it's kind of a time for some of you to release that connection. And then you'll be much happier once you do. But it might be a struggle for some of you who are still trying to hold on. Okay, so I just heard the message. Again, this isn't for everybody, but I heard get your shit and go. So for some of you, it might be like that, you know, where it comes to that situation where somebody tells somebody that, or again, this could be something that already happened. For those of you who already went through this recently, it is showing, you know, justice is coming. So sometimes with the Justice card, if you were married to this person or there was things to be settled in, with the law, like, you know, contracts, it's definitely showing that things will, you know, turn out how they should. Okay. Now, for those of you who this isn't about romance, it could just be, it definitely could be about other situations that you're needing to let go of. But again, I'm getting a triumph after that period. So again, it is a blessing, even though it might not seem like it while you're going through it. But at the end, things will come to a balance. Things will, you know, karma will be dealt out. Things will go in your favor. You'll be victorious. So with your tea leaf reading cards, we have well, family wishes come true. Okay, so I did hear someone or some of you might be getting a new partner. So again, going back to the possibility of something ending. So if you're worried about, oh, I'm not going to find someone else, this is giving confirmation. Because I do think for some watching, this could be someone that you have kids with or have a family with. And for some of you, it's not everybody, again, about the toxic partnership. You know, maybe like you were separating with someone, you guys actually do really love each other. When I say guys, I just, you know, whichever gender. But it just, again, came to the end of the road, and ultimately you'll still have a happy family even if you're not together with them. We also have Quill, get back to basics. Oh, it's funny because when I shuffle these before, I try not to look, but sometimes they do, you know, face towards me, and I'll get messages. And I did hear something about a single woman. So for some of you, if this is your story, getting back to basics is about you, you know, being single again, being independent again. And it doesn't necessarily have to be getting back to dating, just getting back to yourself. We also have, these came out together, Pale and Fire. So Pale is time to get out of a situation, and Fire is strong emotion, passionate love, or hate. So again, this is kind of confirming if this is your story. Again, if it's not, then there might be some other messages in this pile. Otherwise, you might want to choose another one if this is not making sense to you, because this is all seeming like it's going together. Yeah, time to get out of a situation, and the Fire. For some of you, it could be that this fire is no longer there. The love's no longer there. It's just dry. And for some of you, it's a bad situation you need to get out of. And now I'm hearing End of the Road again by Boyz II Men. Okay, so your next cards, we have Woman Holding a Heart, Goddess of the Moon, and Magician and the Mirror. Okay, so definitely I'm getting a lot of feminine energies picking this pile. So whether you're actually, you know, whether you're a female or you resonate more as a feminine soul. And okay, I just heard the time is up. Your time is up. So again, I think that's about a situation that no longer serves you, most likely romantic, or I just heard platonic right now. So for some of you, this could even this doesn't have to be about romance if it's not your story. If it fits someone else in your life, but don't make it fit if it doesn't. If that makes sense. But yeah, definitely, I think those of you who this fits for, you're getting back to yourself. And, you know, seeing the beauty in yourself and pampering yourself and recognizing your worth again. And I think for some of you, it's going to be easier than you realize. Like once you're out, like, yeah, I think for some of you, it's not as bad as you think it is. Like you've actually imagined it to be worse. But once you're single on your own, you might be surprised about how, like, easy it is to go back to, you know, just doing your own thing and having time for yourself and dedicating to yourself. With the Magician in the Mirror, for some of you, this could be about someone who, if you were in a relationship with someone toxic, that they kind of did like almost like not a magic trick. And I'm not saying that they actually did magic. I'm saying that someone could have fooled you. They could have appeared one way, and then you got into this relationship with them, and then you're like, what did I get myself into? But I think a lot of you had clarity, or will have this clarity, and then you saw the truth for what it was. And with the Mirror too, like you and this person could have definitely mirrored. You were in each other's lives for a reason. You know, you could have been in a karmic relationship, and you were both mirroring each other what you needed to see, and you probably didn't like what you saw in each other. So if this wasn't about a toxic person, it could have just been, you know, if it was more just a relationship for growth for you both, and it just became toxic or it didn't work anymore, definitely you could have been mirroring energies back to each other. And yeah, I heard that that's not pretty. It wasn't pretty, or that it's not pretty. Okay, your blessings, a blessing on your family. Going back to the family card. So again, don't worry if you are trying to get out of a situation. Do what's best for you and your family. But you know, there is showing the blessing for them. So this is going to be a positive change. Again, if that's your story, that's a positive. Oh, also a blessing on your creativity. Okay, also for some here, it could be about if the toxic story, or if the story even about ending a relationship isn't you. For some of you, if that first half didn't resonate, this part is about actually having a family, and this creativity is about birthing. Instead of birthing a creative project or ideas, it's about birthing a child. And with the storks here, if you were drawn to pile 1 as well, you might want to watch that too, because there was actually the stork card that came out in one of the tea leaf cards. Okay, also I just heard that for some of you, this relationship or marriage was from a long time ago, and it's just the energy that you've been holding on to, or it could be the person that's holding on to it. So, and needing to let that go. So you might need to clear the energies. Also, I'm getting about looking at things from a higher perspective. So if you thought someone did you dirty and you're still pissed off at them, like needing to look at things from a higher perspective is what I'm getting. And if that was your story, this is just, again, confirmation that someone else is coming in, you know, and getting that family you want, getting that person you want. And again, the karmic retribution with the Justice card. Your unicorn card is prosperity. A gift of money is on its way. Your income is increasing. Manage your finances with love. So for those of you who are worried, if you are trying to get out of a situation where you live with someone, married to someone, it is showing that, you know, don't worry about money. It will come in when it needs to. And your magical spell card, we have harmony. As I create, I will share. Harmony divine with love and care. And I did hear your blessings are on your way. So if you're worried that they aren't, they are. And I really now am feeling that some of you, this really was a past energy. So if you're like, oh, this, you know, this was me a year ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago, but really needing to let that past energy go. And I heard it's time for bluer skies. So if definitely, which is interesting because with the Ten of Swords, things look really dark. So definitely there is a shift happening, a change happening, even if you don't see it. Now we're going to use the Moonology to kind of see possible timings as well as further messages to wrap up. Okay, we have a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. So full moon in Cancer could mean something. So if you want to look up the date for that, and it doesn't have to be on that date. It could be before, it could be around. But Cancer rules the house of family and home. So again, this is going back to home and family issues. Oh, for some of you with the Justice card, it could be that maybe you are still in the midst of divorce for someone. And this is just showing that, yeah, you will get that divorce. Things will finally resolve. Okay, show me one more card, please, for pile 2. I'm hearing home and stability. So again, like, that is coming. If it's not here now, it is coming. Oh, the answers you need are coming. So that's what I was just saying. And full moon in Gemini. Underneath, don't let your past hold you back. South Node. And nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. Okay, I feel for some of you that this message isn't for everybody, but what I was getting for some of you is that I think for some of you, you could be too in your head and questioning about things. And I'm getting the message of it's okay that you have the power to dictate your own life. So if someone used to dictate your life or control your life, you know, whether this connection, this relationship, this marriage, it's up to you. It's in your hands. So your life, how it's going to go, like you only have control over so much, right? But you do have control over a lot. So it's up to you how things are going to go. So if you don't let this past energy go, then yeah, the blessing probably won't come in just because you it's blocked energetically. So if you do the work to let that energy go, let the past go, then things will turn in your favor. So that's why that card came up. And don't worry because I'm saying that, because that's what I was getting, that energy of worrying. But yeah, just let it go. And yeah, don't let your past hold you back. Especially for those of you who were with like a shitty person who treated you badly and poorly and was like, oh, and I just heard that for some people, again, this isn't for everybody, but some people, that person might want you back. So just make sure that if, you know, you're not taking them back unless if it's truly in alignment with you and is for your greater good, and actually that person actually honors you and makes you happy, and there's real unconditional love there. And I think, again, for most of you, if you were in that situation, it's not. So right now it's the end of December 2021, and we are in a time of Venus retrograde. So definitely, if you are watching this during Venus in retrograde, which will go through January, I forgot the exact date, but that could be when they return. So if you are watching this video later in 2022, again, this could be something that you already wrapped up or in the midst of wrapping up. But overall, it is positive because the answers you need are coming. Things are going to reach resolution. You just have to let them go and trust in that you will get your blessings. You will have this harmony. You will have your prosperity. You will have money for you and your family, and you will have a happy family, whether you already have them or that's coming in the future. But what you could do to help yourself, again, let that past energies go. And if it's them who won't let go of you, then make sure you go, you know, to someone to help clear you. Do what you can to clear your energy. If you need to go no contact with the person, if they're toxic, please do so. And there's plenty of information out there if you are in at a toxic relationship, and about going no contact, and about what you might experience if you are in a relationship with someone who is pathological. So I hope that helps. Trust in your blessings, believing in your blessings, because they will come as long as you let the past go. Okay, so now we're going to move on to pile number 3, or if you chose the Kyanite. Okay, so your tarot cards are 5 of Wands and Page of Wands. Okay, so I know when you look at these cards, you're probably like, these are blessings, Heather. But the positive from these cards is that, see how there's like all these dragons? Sorry, the like can sometimes be weird. And then this boy is like shrieking. So what I'm getting is that your blessing that is going to come from this is that you're going to be confronting your fears, your demons, whatever they may be, and you're going to become stronger and more in your power. So there, you know, whether the challenges and going through this stuff is coming. But again, these challenges are going to turn into blessings once you let go of your fears, once you learn to master them, once you learn. I did hear take control of the wheel. So for some of you, you might have been, living in a state of fear where you have been reluctant to move forward with things in your life. But for some of you, this is, just about standing in your power, having your personal power, owning that power. And I did hear toughen up. So if you're someone that maybe took things personally, so some of those demons could be about like things that you're reactive to, because anything that we are reactive to or triggered by, it's because there's something there that needs to be healed. So this definitely could be a huge healing year for you. But again, the positive is you will step into your power once you let go of these fears, once you combat these dragons. Okay, your tea leaf reading cards. Okay, so we have man, dealings or relationships with a man. Shield, you need to defend yourself. And then we have tan card, celebration, fun, and enjoyment. And I believe this card came out with this card, which is July. So a blessing in July, fun times ahead. Now with the Man in the Shield, again, I think this is again that energy of, so whether you are a man, or this could just be about your masculine side, as we all have a masculine side and feminine side. Sorry, I just shut the camera. And so if you're someone, some of you might need to come more into your masculine side and power. And if you're wondering what I mean by this, again, we all have a feminine masculine side, but there's a difference between like a distorted energy and an awakened energy. So this is definitely with the defending yourself, kind of coming into your own, standing in your power. And if for some of you, this could be about another person as in a male, or someone really in their masculine energy, or this could just be about yourself and your masculine side. I do remember this actually did flip upright while I was shuffling, and I did get a message that for someone this could be a father figure. And then I was hearing George Michael's Father Figure song. So this could even be if you were in a relationship with someone who was like a father figure, or it could be a father figure, someone who maybe you need to stand up to. Or so take what resonates, whether it's a family situation, it's a romantic situation, or it's a mentor situation even. But there could be someone that you need to maybe stand up to, and this is part of those demons. And okay, something I heard too right now is that for some of you, this could be someone who used to be in your life, or they're still in your life, but they used to tell you things maybe like growing up in your upbringing, your conditioning, your programming, and you were used to having these things that come up in your head, and this is what you're needing to confront. And it's not even a current energy, it's just something that you've been conditioned or programmed to believe, and now you're needing to recognize that, oh hey, like, because this, I'm not getting that this is a bad person, I'm just getting that maybe from their upbringing or what they knew, they put onto you, and now you're having to deal with it. And again, take what resonates. Yeah, I'm hearing father figure again, but it doesn't have to be. Because for some of you, like I said, it could just be about embracing your own, masculine side in a healthy way. Yeah, definitely like not living in fear. Okay, see your next cards we got? Oh, the Thinking Man. So what I said about being, for some of you, if you're in your head, this is confirmation about that. Letting go of those little, I'm hearing nidbits, like that might poke at you, like, oh, telling you things. Whether, again, it's yourself or it's someone who you used to hear like criticism from. We have appreciation. So I'm hearing stepping up to the plate and like honoring yourself, appreciating yourself for who you are, and not letting anyone make you feel bad about that. And again, that's not for everybody, but, and then we have envy. Okay, so for some of you, this could be about, there might be people in your life that are envious of you, and this is where your doubts come in, because you've taken on that criticism, because it wasn't just criticism, it was it was this envy, it was this jealousy. And again, the energies could always be reversed. So for those of you who, if you're envious of someone else, realizing to appreciate yourself and your own beauty. Like if you're envious or jealous of someone, ask yourself, what are you envious for them? Why are you jealous of them? Like what about them, or what quality do you actually appreciate in them? And it's not to be envious, it's not to be jealous, and kind of changing your mindset on, because ultimately being envious or jealous is a low vibrational energy. And same with fear. Like who actually wants to live in that state? Don't you want to feel happier and more alive, and from a place of compassion and gratitude, as opposed to envy and jealousy. So, and again, I'm not judging anybody. It's just if this is true, recognizing this and realizing, okay, how can I shift this? So I'm changing how I think about things. because ultimately it will better yourself and also your relationships with people as well. But again, it could be flip-flopped. Either it could be you, or it could be people put that onto you if they're envious and jealous of you. Okay, so your blessings, we have a blessing on the senses, the gift, that gift the world to you. Okay, I just heard free to be me. So again, going back to, for some of you, not honoring who you are because out of fear or what, you know, you tell yourself in your head or what people have told you. Yeah, I'm hearing shift your perspective. We also have a blessing from your ancestors. Okay, so regarding our ancestors, they could definitely pass on different gifts or traits to us, but also any trauma that happens, you know, continues to carry on, and that karma carries on until someone heals it. So for you, you could be someone in your family line that is meant to heal some karma, who's meant to clear some things up. And once you do that, you will be blessed by these ancestors, who are rooting for you, by the way. So definitely so some of these issues, what I've talked about of fear or not, you know, recognizing your own worth or being envious and jealous of others, or people being, putting that onto you and you feeling bad about yourself, or you being too in your head, like, and needing to combat certain, you know, like I said, the demons. This could be definitely a lot of karma that has gone down the family line. And so definitely if you experience things and you're like, I don't understand why this keeps happening to me while I'm dealing with this, it doesn't, you know, I don't see a pattern in my own life of why this would happen. Chances are it could be from your lineage, and this is something that you're needing to heal. And I just heard something, walk away from something. So take what resonates, but just kind of think upon, like, you know, what that could mean for you. And I think some of you already know, and I'm also hearing some of you don't want to confront it. So, but it'll be better if you do. I know it doesn't feel good at the time, but, and then we have balance, is your unicorn card. Take time to relax, indulge a little more or less, set boundaries with your work. So I'm getting with the balance with mind and heart. Again, this is very much a thinking pile, or someone who has conditioning mentally about reprogramming yourself and coming to balance. So if you feel like you don't live from the heart enough, this is just telling you to kind of, you know, have a balance between your mind and your heart. Because if we're always living from our head space and not our heart space, and this is also maybe where some of that fear comes in. You need to tap into love, because fear and love are opposite vibrations. So definitely you'll want to find ways to uplift your energy. And also, by the way, blue kyanite is great for clearing your energy and aligning your chakras. So you might want to work with kyanite. Your magical spell cards, we have trust. I am safe, I am secure. In love I trust, my faith endures. So again, like, I don't feel this energy is actually these dragons attacking you or anything. I think it's a lot of it is mental, or even if it's, you know, people saying stuff. It's not something that is going to, you know, physically hurt you. It's just the pains of reprogramming yourself, the pains of confronting, you know, your fears, the pains of ancestral karma. And then also you have abundance, goddess of abundance divine, let me thrive, let fortune be mine. Okay, now we're going to look at the Moonology cards to kind of see timing and further messages for pile 3. Okay. I'm not going to take that because that was too many. There was like... Okay, I'm going to take the top card because I know that's the message. The end of a life cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. So for some of you, I feel some of you are already on your way. Like you've already acknowledged this, you've already done this work, you're working through it, and you know, you should feel good about that. Know that that cycle is going to end. For some of you, if this is starting to approach, and you know, you've done some healing, some work, you are going to get there. And it is showing that things are completing. And I'm hearing in their natural order. So again, some of the stuff with the ancestors and the family stuff, again, this isn't for everybody, but for some people it could be like you clear something up and then, you know, you have like a break and then something else comes on. So it might not always be like continuous. It might be like through periods. That makes sense. We're going to get one more card. Okay, I just heard something about shift the blame. So if you were someone, and this could even be a past energy, if you would like shift the blame onto someone else instead of taking responsibility, this is something that you're having to learn. But again, it's going to be positive. It's going to be a blessing in the long run. And yeah, stepping out of any victim mentality, you know, shifting the blame. Again, this could be something, if it wasn't from your own life, it could be from family, from ancestors. And this is something you're needing to wrap up. Okay, we also have full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. So definitely a lot of like, you know, energies of things coming, you know, coming to a close. I think there's some people in here who've already, like I said, already have been doing this work a lot, and it's, you know, coming to an end. For some of you, I think you've been in and out of it. But I think for some of you things are ending, and I think for some of you it's like going to come to a head, and then this is where you're going to start really working on this more. Yeah, and definitely with the trust card, you're needing to trust. If you're like, okay, this reading isn't much of blessings, but it is. Again, you're going to be in your power. You're going to let go of this conditioning, this programming that doesn't serve you. You're going to clear things for your ancestors. You're going to come into balance. You're going to come into more of your authentic self, and you are going to come into abundance. But this is, I think, later, maybe later down the road. I think there's going to be a period, again, like I'm getting an energy of things kind of being sometimes up and down. So say maybe your abundance, you could have like sprinkles almost coming in here and there, but then also like the greater picture, greater goal is coming into this abundance down the line. And I think part of that is your ancestors blessing you because once you've done the work. And also not to forget that you also had celebration, fun, enjoyment in July. I did just hear like coming into clarity at that time. So there could be things that, and also opening doors at that time as well. Okay, and I decided to look at the bottom of the deck, and you have a look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. So for anybody who, again, like I'm getting some of you might not approve of this pile, but if it's you and your energy, you're going to know, and just realizing, okay, looking things from a different perspective, looking at things from a higher perspective, and shifting from the blame game to taking accountability where it's needed and responsibility. And again, some of that could come from family ancestors, but recognizing that if you're the one meant to do the work and you're the healer, you have that responsibility, but ultimately it will bring you healing, it will bring you blessings, and it is something positive because you not only heal yourself, but you heal, you know, the line backwards and forwards. So if you haven't heard about that before, and this is kind of more new to you, you might want to look into that. Okay, so that's your reading, pile 3, and there's nothing to fear but fear itself. And just know that any of obstacles are ultimately to get you to be where you need to be. So I hope that helps. Okay, so now we're going to move on to pile 4. So if you picked pile number 4 or this candle quartz, this reading is for you. So your tarot cards, we have 10 of Cups and Ace of Swords. I'm going to read more of the cards, tell you what they are, and then I'll get into the messages. So your tea leaf reading cards, we have Owl, good advice from a wise person. Haystack, karma, you will reap what you have sown. Hills, obstacles to overcome. So I believe the haystack and hills actually came out together. And then we also, these came out together as well. Tortoise, slowly but surely getting ahead and not unsuccessful plans. Okay, so what I've told other piles is if any cards come out and they don't seem positive, it ultimately is going to bring a blessing or is a positive. So don't get caught up on like, oh great, I have these bad negative cards. So, I mean, because right off the bat with the 10 of Cups and Ace of Swords, I mean, that's, you know. I mean, look how positive this is. Okay, so the next cards, we have Angel of Strength and Anxiety. I'm going to clarify these once I get all the cards out. And we have your blessings, a blessing for unity where once there was division. Sorry, sometimes this light. And then we have a blessing of the waters. Your unicorn card, we have courage. You are safe, fears and illusions set strong boundaries. And your magical spell cards, we have best possible decision, Artemis, goddess of the bow, help me see what must be known. And prosperity, as this tree grows so strong, so fine, so I may prosper from the universal divine. Okay, so let's see, where do we begin? So definitely with this anxiety and Angel of Strength, I feel that if you've been in this energy of, you know, fear, anxiety, if you feel like there's been a lot of issues or problems or headaches, especially with other people, or there's been conflict. And I feel like those watching who pick this pile most likely are more emotional and sensitive. And if you're not naturally that way, you might have been in this period of feeling this way, or whenever you watch this video or, you know, coming into the near future, you might feel that way. But it's because there's these, maybe for some of you, if you're not naturally an emotional sensitive person, it could be repressed like emotions that are coming up, and it's needing to be cleared, it's needing to be dealt with. And which is with the blessing of the water. So actually realizing, honoring your emotions and honoring, honoring your feelings, you know, letting the emotions come up and figuring out what is triggering you, you know, why they're, you know, you feel, you have these certain emotions towards and conflicts with certain people, and kind of resolving it. So then you are in touch with your feelings, but you're not, okay, I'm also hearing some about instinct. Okay, I'm just hearing first, this not might be everybody, but I'm hearing about I don't know where to begin. And I think there's a lot of energies in this pile. So it could be one, because there's a lot of different stories who, you know, picked this pile. Two, I also think that there was maybe for some of you just a lot going on and you're like, I don't even know where to begin to sort out things in my life. But the positives are, with this blessing for unity, once there was division, if there was conflicts with other people, there are showing resolutions coming in. So whether that's, you know, having closure, whether that's, you know, reconciliation, whether that's, you know, coming to agreements, compromise, definitely things, and I heard being reborn just now. So again, for some of you, this could be things that, you know, connections that were reborn even. Okay, I think also I'm hearing this isn't for everybody, but some of you could be in conflict with yourself, and that's where that unity needs to come in. And some of you could be trying to fight your feelings, like you don't want to deal with them. So you're very much in your head, and that's coming out as anxiety, or that's coming out as depression, because you haven't honored dealing with what you need to deal with to heal. And this is where the angel of strength is coming in. And I'm getting the message about all things aren't as bad as they seem once we actually deal with them. I think anytime we get in our head of like, oh my God, this is going to be so bad, we can make it so much worse sometimes when we do that, because then we're thinking of all these worst case scenarios. And then, I mean, I've had so many times like this in life where I think that something's going to be such a big deal, or it's, you know, things are going to be, you know, a certain way, and then it's not at all. And it's like, you know, and then it's like, why did I put myself through that? And I mean, I don't think I've done that in a while, but I do remember past instances where I would do this. So if this is you, if you think sometimes the worst case scenario, you're too in your head, not fearing the worst. And this is where also the courage is, to honor your feelings, honor yourself, and allowing things to come out and heal, even if that's a messy process, which healing is. It's not, you know, it takes a lot, but ultimately it is worth it. So I think for some of you, this is just about getting right with yourself and right within. But I also do think that for some of you, it's also that, and plus, you know, people around you in your life. And that could be for some of you where that courage needs to come in to set those boundaries or to speak your truth. And, you know, if you're someone who is naturally emotional and sensitive, and, you know, you do honor your emotions, but maybe, you know, people take advantage of your kindness, they see it as weakness, and you need to kind of step in and not allow people to treat you like a doormat. So it could go either way with either scenario. So just take what resonates. So definitely, you know, with this best possible decision, I think once you get out of your head, once you let go of what you need to release, and because when we're too in our head about things, you know, it's like we can't connect to our intuition, our higher self, to let us know like what we should actually do, because, you know, if we're anxious or in a state of fear, we're not going to make the best possible decision. So you have to get out of that space to be able to make the right decisions for you. And that includes those relationships with other people. And for yourself, if you're not having issues with other people, it's just about yourself. It's like whatever you're working on for your prosperity, and that could be in a number of different ways, you have to be able to make the right moves forward. And you can't do that if you're in a place of fear and if you're not feeling, you know, right. With the haystack and the hills, with the obstacles to overcome, with the karma, you will reap what you have sown. This could be about past life karma. This could even be about karma from, you know, family, ancestors. Regardless, don't get too caught up in like, oh no, karma, like I need to clear that. But, you know, there have been obstacles on your path, and I mean, that's just naturally, you know, what we have to deal with being human, unfortunately. But don't get caught up by the lingo of karma. I do think that you will overcome it. It's just, again, having that courage. And I think you'll feel, I just heard, more alive once you get past this, because I think for some of you, you haven't been feeling the greatest. And I think that's, you know, based more on mental or emotional states. And with the slowly but surely, definitely if you feel like some of this stuff has been going on for a long time, it's not to say that you won't get past it, but, you know, possibly these unsuccessful plans or things that had happened in the past, it's kind of like, okay, when am I going to get past this hump? You know, so just know that your time is coming, but you have to continue to put that work in. And with this owl, good advice from a wise person, like, I do believe that, like, we are always our best person to provide answers for ourselves. But again, we have to be in the right state to get that, you know, knowledge, that intuition, that feeling, that guidance. So if you are wanting to reach out to someone, just make sure that they are going to be someone that will actually give you sound, wise advice. You don't want to just be talking to anyone about your problems, getting advice from anyone, because not everyone is going to be able to give you good advice. Not that because they don't mean to, but some people just don't know how, to give the greatest advice, or they might not know how to give advice for your situation. So just be, careful of who you're asking advice from. But ultimately, I do implore you to really get in touch with your higher self and your intuition, so you can make also your own decisions, the best possible decisions. Ultimately, like I said, you got the 10 of Cups and Ace of Swords. So you're going to, definitely get it. I got this energy of like the sword and the stone. So even though like when I first pulled this, because I try not to, when I'm shuffling these piles, I don't look, but sometimes they do fall right, and then I see them and then I get a message. So I definitely feel like, you have this, you're going to be able to, meaning you have what you need to be able to overcome these obstacles and to move forward with your life. And, you will get this emotional fulfillment. So, and I do feel like, again, a lot of this is about your internal world and you feeling good about you and your life. But also I think as you get right with that, you're going to be able to move forward with the things you want in life. And this is where the prosperity comes in. So this emotional fulfillment starts with you, but it could be larger than that. It could be like, love, family, work, a home. It could be many things, but I think at first you have to be able to get in a better place with it. So I do see that happening. So your blessing is, definitely releasing this anxiety, this fear, being courageous, honoring your feelings and dealing with them and healing from them. If you have been in conflict with people, coming again to those conclusions, compromises, reunions, and for some of you setting, boundaries, maybe letting some people go. For some of you, what else did I say? So yeah, if you've been, if you're naturally sensitive and emotional, making sure that, you're honoring yourself. And then, like I said, if you are someone who isn't in touch with your emotions, getting in touch with them so you can deal with these things to move forward. Trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, also, we have your Moonology as well. Sorry. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, so let's look at possible timing as well as further messages for pile 4. Okay, don't let pride get in your way, full moon in Leo. So you can look up full moon in Leo. That's a possible timing for some of these things to happen, or it could, it doesn't have to be happening on the full moon in Leo. It could be, before or around that time. With the pride, definitely if, I think this message is more for those who maybe don't want to honor their emotions and feelings. They're more, want to be, they more rely on their mind. If you rely more on your mind and then you're kind of have suppressed your emotions, the don't let pride get in your way is a message for you. Because definitely if you want to be able to access your higher self, you can't live from a place of ego and pride. Okay, let's see a message for those who have the other story. That was too many. One card, please. Again, a lot of cards are wanting to come out. I feel like, yeah, there's just a lot of energy here. Again, going back to what I heard about, I don't even know where to begin. Okay, so for those who are my emotional sensitive people who are needing help with in regards to other people, don't let your past hold you back. Okay, For some of you, this isn't for everybody. I think for some of you, could be empathic. And what I mean by empathic is like, I don't mean you have, I think when people say like, oh, sorry. Sometimes when people say like, oh, I'm an empath, I think some people think it refers to someone's empathy. To me, what I see as an empath is someone who actually takes on energies from other people, takes on emotions, thoughts, feelings from other people. So I think for some of you watching, I think for some of you, you are empathic in the sense that you actually take energies and emotions from other people, and then you're wondering why you feel a certain way, and it's not even your energy. But so for some of you, you need to clear, because some of you have maybe never have cleared, or you don't clear often, and this is where things are weighing you down, and this is why like things are maybe intensified and you're struggling with anxiety or depression, because it's not even coming from you. It's just from collective buildup from maybe other people around you, or yeah, just the collective in general. And I'm hearing like clear, rinse, and repeat. So definitely like, okay. And then also with the blessing of the waters for you, maybe, I mean, there's different ways to clear, but for you, maybe try using water. So like in the shower, clearing your energy, doing like, you know, foot bath, salt bath, definitely using that to your advantage, because I think for some of you really need to clear a lot. And I think for some of you, you're going to feel so much clearer after, but it's something you have to keep up with. Any last messages? Okay, that was too many cards. One last card, please. Okay, nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. Another pile got this earlier too. So what I told them is what I'm going to tell you is that everything with readings, like this is what is in the cards now. It's ultimately up to you with what guidance you take. You know, if this is your story, or, you know, one of those stories were your story and it makes sense, it's up to you whether you want to apply it or not. So, you know, you can get these blessings that come in of prosperity and your Ten of Cups emotional fulfillment energy, but it's ultimately up to you if you want to put the work forth. So that's just a message, because I think sometimes people get, oh, this is going to happen just because you know, in the card, it said it in the cards, but no, it's sometimes like you can't just take it as a fortune telling thing. It's like, it's actually, you should take it as, oh, this is guidance and it's up to me how I want to apply this, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to give that heads up, because since that card came up. Okay, so pile 4, that is your reading. So thank you for watching, and be sure to like, share, subscribe if this resonated for you. Okay, so on to pile 5. So for those of you who chose 5 or the rainbow fluorite, okay, your tarot cards, we have 8 of Pentacles, we have the Tower, we have the 5 of Cups, and we have the Sun. Okay, so right off the bat, so if you're like, oh shit, I got the Tower, I got the, you know, because there's certain cards that, yeah, people always know, like, even if they don't know about tarot, they're like, oh no. So what I was getting from those cards is that something you were either wanting, working on, in the midst of, again, this could be past, present, future energies, depending on when you watch this video, it's showing about something not working out, but it wasn't meant to, because you were being redirected to something even greater with the Sun card. So even if you feel like, oh, like what you're going through is, I'm just going to say it, for some of you, it could feel like hell. And I'm not wanting to put that out there, but it's just what I was hearing. Again, this could be something, you know, going through now, or if in the future this happens, just remember that that is clearing the way for you, because the Tower is ultimately, when you think of it, is actually a positive, because it's clearing the way for things that don't serve you, And then once this is cleared, then you can have a new beginning. So with Eight of Pentacles, there's something you were wanting, working on, manifesting, you know, and then it just doesn't work out. And this will be different for everybody. So, you know, don't be like, oh my God, what is this regarding? And then, you know, try to put that onto, you know, anything and everything in your life. Just whatever, let it, if this hasn't happened, just let it, whenever, and if and when it comes, just know that, okay, I remember this. I remember I got the Tower card, but after the Tower card, yes, there was the Five of Cups. There's going to be this period of maybe some sorrow or introspection and of like, why didn't things work out? But ultimately, you're going to be redirected to what is for you, and this is where the Sun card comes in. So it's like that saying, God's rejection is God's protection. So definitely, if you experience a situation like this on something you've been working on, something you had hurt on, something that you'd wanted, and then you're like, why didn't this work out? It's because something better is coming. So that is a positive. Again, I know at the time it might not feel like it, but know that the Sun is like the happiest card in the tarot deck. So take it as a win. Okay, so now your tea leaf reading cards. We have Desk, pay attention to your work. So for some of you, this isn't for everybody. Some of you might be going back to school or learning a new skill. But I definitely heard like back to school. So that's a blessing for those who are wanting to go back to school, learn something new. We have Rose, romance is in the air. And then also these came out together. We have June and the Ram, a stubborn, aggressive person. So the Ram could actually mean, it could be about someone who's in Aries or they have Aries in their chart, but it doesn't have to be. All right, so for some of you, this could be, even though these came out separately, this rose, this love could be with someone who's in Aries possibly, or they could be born in the month of June, which would be, most of June is Gemini, but then is Cancer, but it doesn't have to be. So this aggressive person, it could even, they might not have to be, I mean, Aries are known for being, you know, aggressive, but it doesn't have to be like, which, it doesn't have to be in a negative way, right? Or you could be meeting an Aries in June. For some of you, the two aren't combined. So the romance is nothing to do with June or the Aries or the Ram. For some of you, this could be about butting heads with someone in June. So some kind of, you know, partner, whether, you know, someone you work with, a friend, romantic. But again, don't get caught up with it. It just could be, because ultimately this is reading is about blessings. So whatever is coming from it. So this could be even, say, like this situation I described happens in June with someone who's aggressive or who has this stubborn energy. And also for some of you, you could be the one with the stubborn energy, you know. And again, that's not to say anything bad. It's just, I mean, I could be stubborn in my own ways too. I have my moon in Aries. So ultimately, whatever happens will become a positive. So if that was something that happens regarding that Tower energy, ultimately know that it was for your, you know, benefit. So you just want to note, you know, maybe to see what happens in June. Okay, your next cards, we have Patience and Door to Romance. So, you know, already two love cards. So some of you, this situation could, with what I first described, could be a love situation. You could have wanted to be with this one person, you were dating them, or even in a relationship with them, or maybe you're just interested in them, and then things didn't work out, but know that someone better is coming. And this is where this patience is coming in. So for some of you, this could even be something that's currently happened or maybe did happen. And you're in the next stage, meaning you already experienced the Tower, now you're in the Five of Cups energy, and the Sun is just giving clarity to be like, oh yeah, this person's coming in, but you got to be a little patient. Going back to the Aries energy, Aries are impatient. So again, some of you could be an Aries or have Aries in your chart, and that's you trying to be like, when is this going to happen? So some of you, yeah, you could very well meet someone in June, and that Ram energy is you like needing to be patient until June. And it could happen before then. You know, energies could always, you know, change, because it's, well, right now it's the end of December, but again, depending on when you watch, I mean, you could be ended up watching this in May, and then you're only having to, you know, wait till the next month. Okay, so your blessing cards from the Blessed Be deck. We have a blessing to find your way and a blessing to lift sadness. So this definitely goes with that Five of Cups energy. Okay, I did hear about sitting with your feelings, so definitely, you know, allow yourself to grieve, you know, that like whatever didn't work out, what you had your heart set on, or allow yourself to feel that and, you know, release it. But it is showing that your sadness will lift and that you will find your way and you will come out of that energy. And I know for me personally, like anytime I'm, you know, in a funk, or I'm, you know, been in times of, you know, a state of depression, it always feels like you're never going to get out, or you're, you know, it's hard to imagine when things get better again. So I definitely understand being in that situation and thinking that, you know, when are things going to brighten up? When are things going to turn around? But it does show in the cards that that is going to happen. So for some of you, you're already in this state and you already experienced all of this. And it's just a matter of you getting out of this sadness and then having, you know, I just heard happy ending, and I don't like to use that happy ending because, I mean, you know, with any ending, there's a beginning. So, and for you, this is more about a beginning after this ending of things that didn't work out. Your unicorn card, you got the magic card, make a wish, believe in miracles, magic surrounds you. So to me, of the cards in the unicorn deck, this is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, because it's about magic. And I think it's about some of you like needing, whether now or in the future, needing to believe in the magic of life again, and that good things are possible. And also for some of you, maybe that there are good people out there, if this is a romantic situation that did not go well. Oh, and then your magical spell card is love. Aphrodite, I call to thee to bring a true love here to me. So you definitely got, like, I think of all the piles so far, this one was all like had a lot of romance and love cards. So that definitely, it has been the theme for this. So that first situation I described, it doesn't have to just be about love. It could be about other things too, but definitely if this all goes together. So if this isn't your story, you might want to choose a different pile just because this definitely all goes together. We're going to look at the Moonology deck to see timing and any last messages. Okay, so we have conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. So definitely with things wrapping up with this past sadness. Hold your vision, fixed moon. And a new start is coming. Oh, wow. Okay. So definitely know that this sadness, this pain, whatever didn't work out, or if something doesn't work on the future, that things will wrap up, will reach their natural conclusion, but you got to hold on to the vision of what you want. So and I know if you didn't get what you want, it might be like, well, why didn't I get what I wanted? But maybe you have to reroute. Like, say you're like, oh, I wanted this one person. Well, you know, like, you can't, like, don't hold your vision on one person. Hold your vision on, okay, these are qualities I would want in a person. This is the kind of relationship I'd want. Same with if this is about a career or job. Don't set your sights on, I want this one job at this one company, or, you know, kind of keep it to be like, okay, well, what do I want in a job? What I want from my employer? Or if, you know, if you're having your own business, you know, like, really set out on the qualities and not just focusing on one thing, because that one job or that one person might not be in alignment with you. So I hope that makes sense. So hold the vision of what it is you're truly wanting and not be attached to a certain person or to a certain position or whatever the situation may be. But ultimately, it does show a new start is coming, so you will have that new beginning. So trust in that. Okay, so thank you for watching Pile 5. If you liked this, please feel free to like, share, subscribe to my channel. Okay, now we're going to move on to Pile 6. So if you picked 6 or the Prasiolite. So your tarot cards, we have the Emperor, and we have the Three of Pentacles. So one thing I saw when I see this card is I was definitely getting about focus and about, you know, a lot of work career energy here, like with the Emperor, you know, being in your power, really knowing what you're doing and succeeding at it. And from that focus and clarity and dedication that you put in, like really mastering everything. Okay, definitely I heard something about like making your way to the top. So for some of you career-wise, like definitely, you know, that message of success. Okay, your tea leaf reading cards. We have Mountain Road. You're on the road to success. Okay. And then we have February. So February is a time that is highlighted for you. So some kind of blessing will come through, whether this is about the success or this is something else. Oh, we also have October. And we have victory in some endeavor. So definitely being successful, victorious. February and October are highlighted. Okay, I just heard you're going to receive something in February. So that could be a lot of different things. So whether that's news, whether that's a job offer, whether that's, for some of you, that could be, or someone out there, I heard someone about picking up some more clients or new clients. I'm also hearing about a test of faith. So even though there's not showing any obstacles here, if there's anything that happens, and again, this could be February, October, or any time period, it's just those months were highlighted. I do think that you will succeed past it, but if there's something that tests you, like the test of faith, just realize, okay, it's for a reason. And I'm just thinking about, I don't know if any of you have read The Alchemist, but that book talks about how, and I don't even know if I think there's like a beginning section, or at least an edition I used to have, where it talked about anytime you're going to achieve something or you're on the right path, like right before you're going to get it, it talked about how sometimes we could like self-sabotage because we are being tested. And I haven't read it in a long time, but I've just for some reason thought of that book, and so that might be something you want to read. So it's The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I hope I said his last name right. Okay, so for your next cards, we have Happy Family, and we have Second Chakra, Archangel Ariel. So our second chakra is our sacral chakra. It's the color orange, and it deals with creativity, sexuality, emotions. And so I definitely think that if you chose this pile, you're getting like a boost or upgrade to your sacral chakra. So definitely could be a very creative, fertile time for you. So whether that's actually, you know, having a happy family, having kids, that's creative projects, endeavors, again, going back to the success. I'm also like getting an image of like a glow around you. So it could be like this glow up. And I heard blow up too, but not in a bad way, like blow up, like getting huge. Remember what I talked about, like, you know, and now I'm just hearing that song. Oh, what is it called? You know, where he's like, I'm the cream of the crop, I rest at the top. Why can't I think of that song? It'll come to me. Why can't I think? Okay, the band is House of Pain. Why can't I think of the name of the song? But anyways, it's like, there's a part where he's like, I'm the cream of the crop, I rise to the top. It's from the 90s, but Okay, we'll just keep going on. If I remember it, then I'll mention it. Okay, so your blessings are a blessing on a home and a blessing for good work. So again, this is definitely my success career, pile. But also, again, like with the family and the home. So for some of you, if you've already had, a great deal of success and you're already kind of there, it's just showing even more so. But then you're also having that home and that, family coming in. Or if you already have the happy family and home, it's showing about your success. So I feel like wherever there needs to be a blow up of success, like, things will kind of, I think just all around, things will be positive. For your unicorn card, you have passion. Do what excites you, get fired up about your life, increase your energy levels. So with the sacral chakra and the color orange, definitely it makes sense with this passion. So I think that some of you might be reignited. Maybe you didn't feel so in touch, with being creative or, your passion or feeling, alive in that way. So for some of you, if you've been feeling that way, it's just showing you that confirmation about, no, you'll get this sacral chakra upgrade. You'll get this boost. You'll get your passion and fire and motivation back. And I just heard about not clinging to old beliefs or ideals. So for some of you, just like have to get out of your own way from things that no longer serve you. I know that that's not mentioned in the card. That's just something that came through. Okay, so your magical spell cards. Okay, so we have 3 that came through. So the first one, we have dreams, sweet, sleep deep. Sleep that's deep and lasts till morn, wondrous dreams for days reborn. Then we have creativity, by all above and all below, let me connect, let creative flow. And then we have passion, rise passion, rise up high and flame my purpose, reach the sky. Okay, that's perfect. So not only did I talk about like, rising up, and then this is talking about reaching the sky, and we have passion here, we have passion here. We have this sacral chakra here and creativity here. It's like definitely this area of your life is going to be improved. And I think that's why you're going to get more success in your career, because it's this creativity or this, revitalization, reignition that you're going through. And then for some of you, some of you could be starting a family, having kids, having that happy home. Definitely, I think for the majority, this is very focused on, career and projects, creative projects. So if the happy family in the home or, having kids, if that stuff doesn't resonate, definitely a lot of this is about success, but for some of you, it could be these things as well. Or like I said, if you already have the success, you already are very in touch with your creativity and your passions for your job. This is where you're like, okay, well now I have this, I want to start a family, or I want to have a home. And like with the family card, it doesn't have to be like you have to have kids. I mean, you might be like, it could be like your family of pets. Like, I mean that, it doesn't have to be like the traditional sense. So if you're like, okay, that's not what I'm wanting, take it, apply it to your situation. And then with the dream, the sleep card, I think for some of you, if you haven't been sleeping well, this is just a confirmation of like, okay, no, you are going to start getting good night's sleep. Also, I just got that for those of you who are wanting to have kids, that about like, enjoying, more of your sleep now before the baby is born. But not that you'll never get a good night's sleep again, but just, being grateful for, what you have now, if that's your story. Also, I think for some of you, if you feel like you've been drained or tired because you haven't had this passion, that about coming into balance of like, oh, during the day, you'll have all this energy to get everything you'll done, like, and then you'll be so busy. And then by the time you're ready to sleep, you'll be able to fall asleep because, you accomplish so much during the day, and that you're ready, to, fall asleep as soon as your head hits the pillow. Again, take what resonates. I mean, this isn't a, huge message, but this definitely, like, for someone who has issues with insomnia, has trouble sleeping, this is definitely a blessing. If you, I mean, I've been there where I've had issues sleeping. So, oh, now we're going to do the Moonology cards before I forget. So this will give possibly some timing as well as further messages. Oh, luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. Right on. And we have it's time to take action, new moon in Aries. Okay, so very interesting. So you got 2 new moons, which are time of beginnings, and then also you have them in fire signs. Sagittarius and Aries are fire signs, and then passion. So definitely a lot of fiery energy here. So you could even have Aries or Sagittarius or even Leo in your chart, or you might just be embodying that energy. But definitely luck is on your side. Also, like how the arrow is pointing upwards. Again, we're reaching to the sky. We're cream of the crop, rising to the top. And taking action. I think you'll all know, like, when it's time to take action for you. I don't see this as like a problem for this pile. I definitely feel there was, if you were drawn to pile 1, there might be some messages in for you, because there was like a card, yes, with the lion, and it said time to act, but I got with them that they, it was a different kind of energy. But if you were drawn to that, there might be messages in there for you as well, even though they were kind of different. Let's see what else. Yeah, I definitely feel like this is my go-getter pile. And I'm hearing like someone say there's nothing more I need. Like, I think for most of you, you're like already like, no, I know what I need to do, or I have a plan, or I have, the tools, or whatever you're needing. One last card. Okay, so I got, this card came out a few times tonight, but so I'm going to shuffle really well because I don't feel it applies to you. Let's see if it comes out again. Nope. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, so you got the new moon and Leo card. Confidence is your key to success. So you literally got all new moons and fire signs. So all 3 fire signs and new moons showed up for you. So yeah, confidence is your key to success. I think a lot of you already embody this, but if you aren't feeling that way now, you're definitely going to get in touch with this. So not only your sacral chakra is highlighted, but with this, your solar plexus, which is the color yellow. Again, I'm definitely getting that glow up, the blow up energy of, yeah, I think like this pile is really willing to put the effort in, the time in, getting things done. I just heard making bets, so I don't know what that is about. I don't know if we have some gamblers in this pile, but so it's possible that someone could hear gamble and win some money, possibly, but that's not for everybody. Yeah, and I just heard a message of you will win, so that will obviously vary different from person to person. But yeah, great pile, number 6. So if that resonated for you, feel free to like, share, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone.